Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Alright, so I do have a pickup video for you today, but you're probably wondering mostly where I've kind of been, probably, maybe. um, so to put it simply, for those who don't know, I work retail, and it's getting towards that holiday season where just pace is picking up, and yeah. So, and that's not really, or at least I don't want it to sound like an excuse, but yeah. And for the most part, I just kind of make videos whenever I'm motivated to, or I have the energy and mindset to. And yeah, so that's why it's been a while. I haven't even been playing that many video games lately either, so that really hasn't been open to make videos for either, since I kind of haven't really done that a whole lot. But it's something I need to kind of change, and yeah, so. But over the past few months, I've picked up a few things. Some of the stuff might hit a more nostalgia factor for some people, so stay tuned. And yeah, we're gonna switch to the table view, and hopefully I have enough area to do the table view for. So, alright, everyone, welcome to the lovely table view. Don't know where to start. I have quite a few items, so I guess we'll start with the video gaming stuff, since that's the stuff I have the least amount of. And Teddy wants to meow in the background. That's cool. That's cool. So, I didn't keep this up, but very slowly I'm wanting to get all the strategy guides out there to correspond to the games that I own. And searched a bit for. I'm just now getting through my original PlayStation games. I only have like one more strategy guide I need to get, but so I picked up a couple strategy guides in the past couple of months. We have Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. It has like detailed maps. Well, I say detailed maps, but more like a overview kind of map, or overhead kind of map. And yeah, you just get, like, the reason I kind of get strategy guides is it feels like a nice extension to like game manuals and stuff. Sometimes you get like unique artwork and stuff, and I don't know. And yeah, it's just kinda interesting to just flip through. Like, we got the okay. Well, there must be a secret area in that level, because I don't remember this area as far as like I remember yeah, you start here, and then because I remember this level specifically because this is the level that was on the demo. But I didn't know there was an area outside. Interesting. Still haven't really played through this game like I did with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, but yeah. Then alongside that, I also got WWF SmackDown, now WWE. But yeah. And this is your typical well, like I said, it's kinda more like an extension to a game manual. Except with a lot of pretty pictures and stuff. Oh boy. The Attitude Era. Quite the roster at the time. This was before they started adding like legends to the game, but in a sense, some of the stars in this game were stars that ended up becoming legends, so it's kind of interesting, just the time that has passed. I like how it's advertisement for the N64 game and the PlayStation game strategy guide, but yeah. And then this was a cool book that I got. Pre-ordered it when the last Nintendo Direct came out, and oh, that is, from my point of view, it's really kind of dark where I'm looking, so you get like a nice view of the whole, because it's, I can't, my mind's drawing a blank of what I'm trying to say the material is, but the outline of how Samus is drawn on here is uses a shiny material, and now my light above the ceiling is directly pointing towards this, so you're getting a nice view of Samus. But yeah, this is actually a really nice matte finish. I imagine, I can only imagine, like, it's making me think about, just what kind of this matte finish could sound like in a ASMR video, but yeah, it's definitely high quality. And then you got it little, well, once the camera focuses, Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective, and then you got the little screw attack symbol. I almost said screwball symbol, but no, that's not right. And then on the very back, you have screw attack symbol. And no, not the screwball symbol. But yeah, it's very minimum for the thing. And then this is just like a big, it's also hardbound too. So, high quality pages, like they're actually kind of thick pages. And I'm not gonna go through the whole book, but you're gonna see like concept art and just stuff like that. Very, it's kind of a big book, yeah, so I'm having a little trouble trying to flip through it in this specific area, but then you have a little, it goes over each game, from Metroid Prime 1 to 2 to 3, and then ending off with Metroid Prime Remaster. See, then you go to Echoes. It's a very cool book, but it's a very cool book, and it's worth the money. Definitely one of the more higher premium art books that I've ever gotten. It's neat, yeah. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Can't really give any details about like the characters I see and such, just because I haven't played through all the games, or I haven't really played through any of the games, to be honest. Metroid Prime Remaster, and then we get to that, and then don't know whatever happened to the Metroid Prime 2 and 3 re-releases that were supposedly supposed to happen on the Nintendo Switch. Would have been a good build-up to Metroid Prime 4, but apparently, I guess Nintendo didn't think that was a good marketing technique. But yeah, this is a thick book, and it's a neat coffee table book, if that is your kind of thing. Alright, and the only video game I picked up was Soul Reaver 1 2 Remastered. I guess Collector's Edition, if you want to call this that. So I picked this up a few months ago. Well, yeah, I guess a few months ago. I am totally getting my words mixed up. Not Metroid Prime. Amazon Prime was having their like a Prime deal day or something like that. Ended up picking this up for I think $40 or something like that, and it was $30 for the standard edition, $40 for the collector's edition. Kind of glad I got the collector's edition in overall, because normally I just get the standard edition, but it's just, this is actually kind of cool. Like, this is actual, like, kind of cut holes in the box, and Teddy is acting up, because Teddy, what are you doing? What are you playing with? Sorry, but, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, yeah. I'll give you a quick review of what's in here. It's kind of cool, because this actual picture of, can't think of his name, because I haven't really played the series that much. Like, I think I tried out Soul Reaver 2 at one point. Can't think of his name, but this is actually a art book kind of picture that shows through. That's very well put together for this. So we're gonna slide out the stuff. This is the actual like art book. That's actually the back side. That's vertical, so you would flip it around to be more like a normal kind of flip book. But yeah, you get a nice little kind of concept art thing. Just gonna go through this really quickly. So I do have a lot of stuff to go through, but yeah, this is actually really neat. Not gonna flip through every page, but you guys get the idea, kind of. It's a cool little colorful picture. And you get the actual game, which would be like the standard edition, kinda what you would get. And I still gotta say, when it comes to the back of games, kinda looks a little bare. Like, I don't know. Something just doesn't feel right with it. And then you got the Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered official soundtrack, which is 2 discs. This is Soul Reaver OST, and then you got Soul Reaver 2 OST, which... So I guess a lot of these towards the end of disc 1 is like sound bits, maybe. And it looks like they decided not to go with the sound bits in the Soul Reaver 2. I do like my video game soundtracks, and then to have it all to final thing is a steelbook, if that's kind of your thing. But it actually looks like a nice little steelbook. I don't really know what these symbols and weapons are, but get a nice little... And then this was there just to hold everything together. And then we are gonna try to slip this back in without... Oh, I messed that up. Okay. We are gonna do this a different way. So we're gonna do that, then we're gonna slip in the very random cardboard piece, and then we will slip the soundtrack on top, and then everything will be back to normal. Alright. Let's get into the TV shows. So, I don't know if any of you guys watched through any of the superhero DC TV shows that were on the CW and like the around the like 2010 onward. I did end up picking up probably my favorite show out of them little series of shows, and that was DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Because of course, and one thing I actually really like about this box set is it's not just a box set with like um, where they just put all the disc into as little casing as possible. It's an actual box that with all the individual seasons in the box, so that's really neat, and that is something I like about how this is packaged. Yeah, I actually have not seen all the way through this show, because at a specific point, I just, um, in the middle of seasons, transitioning, I just never picked it back up to start the next season when it was airing, so, but yeah. Those who know Bebo know who Bebo is. And along that, so for those who don't know, I rip all my shows and movies to have them on like a digital server kind of thing on my Plex, to be specific, my Plex server. So there are crossover events, and not all of them come with all the episodes for the crossover events. Like, one season includes all the crossover events, and that is really unfortunate, because I didn't know at the time, I ended up picking up Arrow, the 8th and final season. Now, outside of the crossover events, I've never watched Arrow. It's never been really interested me, but the reason I picked up this was for this disc, Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is a crossover event with all the episodes. So yeah. So now I have this, which I don't know if I'm going to pick up the rest. But on top of this, let's continue on down this rabbit hole. I picked up the other show I watched through. And yes, we still have Bebo in the shot. I know. The Flash. So this could be a little bit hard to get. Let me see if I can. I won't go through each one, but my camera's being all funky. It is not focusing very well, but yeah. Come on. But anyways, yes, I picked up the Flash, just as a lot on eBay. Worked well enough, but something I noticed, would it have been the 3rd season? Maybe? No? Okay, maybe it was season 1 of these. I can't remember. Not that one, so maybe season 6? Yeah, this also came with the Crisis on Infinite Earth, so I didn't need the Arrow thing, so that is awesome. And I don't know why my camera's freaking out. Probably because so much is going on, but we got 1st season, 2nd season, 3rd season, of course. I'm gonna try to, like, when you get really close, it's like lighting just does not work well for this. It's probably because they're too shiny. Fourth season. Fifth season. I do remember a little bit of fifth. I don't think I watched from the sixth season onward, which this is the sixth season. Yeah. I'm not getting it close enough, but it's a little bit difficult with... Okay. But anyways, yeah, you get the point. Seventh season, eighth, ninth season, it probably went on way too long. And we have a lot of that out of the way. Let me see if I can fix my camera. Seemed to have gotten a little better now. For whatever reason. But okay, let's get into the DVDs. We have Double Dragon, which I don't know how many of you are nostalgia for this film, but I am, and these are actually all childhood films of mine that I wanted to add to my movie collection. So yeah, we are gonna do this. This actually comes with a poster, and you got the Blu-ray, and then underneath the poster is where I have the DVD versions of the movie. We have Small Soldiers on Blu-ray. Have not watched this since, actually, all of these I haven't watched since I was a little child, so it will be interesting to revisit to see just how some of these hold up. It will be interesting. And then along the lines of kind of that same era, we have Warriors of Virtue. For the longest time, this was out of print on the original Blu-ray run, and it was really expensive for some reason. I had this on VHS tape, and in fact, I think, I probably had all of these on a VHS tape, so that was probably the era I last watched these in, so it will be interesting to see the quality boost whenever I revisit these films. This is a movie I don't hear talked about that much, so I don't know how it did. I do remember it was one of the many movies I watched over and over. And then I wanted to start to get into some Disney stuff, so these are a bit pricey. The Blu-ray versions of the Disney Movie Club that was only released on the Disney Movie Club, so I have a few movies. We have The Big Green, which kind of your typical sports Disney movie. Yeah. I started to dive, and I also picked up A Kid in King Arthur's Court. A few of the live action Disney films that I remember as a young one. I'm probably going to pick up more over the years, but like I said, they're a bit pricey. I did pick up another childhood kind of nostalgia impulse buy. I don't know if you guys ever seen the cartoon movie The Chipmunk Adventure. This was a movie that my grandparents recorded onto a VHS tape for me. When I was younger, my grandparents had cable, so they had the Disney Channel, and they recorded this film off the TV for me, and it was a VHS tape I probably wore out. I've watched this movie so many times, but with how long it's been since I've seen it, it's almost kind of like revisiting and such. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't think there was officially a Blu-ray release of this. Or if there is, it's either really expensive because there's a lot of bootleg Blu-rays out there. So I just stuck with the DVD. I know this is the original version, and it's still a higher quality than what I originally watched it in. And then, the last, as far as DVDs go, I have Tall Tale, The Unbelievable Adventure. I feel like I've only seen this movie once, and it was a rental. It was, of course, on VHS. Again, this is another movie club exclusive, so movie club shut down, so there's no way to actually get this movie now, except off the secondhand market. It's not very expensive yet, but it will probably go up in value at some point. But yeah, this is I remember liking this movie, so I'll have to revisit it because I don't really remember much about it. And then I do have a delivery. We do have a delivery. So this is going to be probably the most I've spent in a little bit in one order, to be specific. But I am excited to kind of crack this open, or open this, because it is something I never really thought I would actually buy, but oh, something fell, but that is alright. This is a So because of how much I spent, they sent like a little free gift. Let me see if I can. So I don't know who this is, but I do remember seeing the. Let me see if I can get. I do remember seeing the anime while searching the Crunchyroll site, but it's a little standee of, I don't know who that is. It does say 02, so maybe that is her name, 02. Yeah, I distinctly remember this because I was looking at the box and wondering, just, yeah, it kind of looked interesting. Like, the character looked like she had devil horns or something like that, which you obviously can see in this little chibi format. But yeah, so, again, this is going to be anime, so it's time to dig into what we have. I'm gonna be opening these. So, I guess I should prepare you guys. If you know when anything about buying anime, there's a publisher known as Aniplex. They typically only sell their anime in typically collector's box sets. And they price them accordingly to kinda for how much anime sells in Japan, so that's part of the reason why they're more expensive. To give a perspective, it probably cost, and these was bought on sale. It costs roughly, you're paying around $100 for like a 12 episode anime box set. So yeah. But it's the only way they sell their stuff, so they don't sell like a cheaper alternative or anything like that. So this is my first dive into something from Aniplex as far as their box sets that go. And I picked up Gurren Lagann. So I'm gonna be honest, I'd never seen this. I don't know anything about it other than it's a mech anime, and because I've never been one to get into mech animes that much, I think the one I watched that I actually watched through was Full Metal Panic. But people have said so many good things about this series, like, it's obviously a classic for a reason. So I figured, why not? It was either this or something the other one I got, which I got one more, I've already seen some of. So it was either get something new that I haven't seen, or get an anime I've seen before, which I would have probably went with the Promised Neverland Season 1. But yeah, let's go ahead and find out how these open without... It looks like they are particularly wrapped in a very specific packaging. Interesting. And this should just kind of slide out. Actually, there's probably another way to do this, but we will just kind of try to slide it out. Okay, that's not working. I mean, I kind of don't want to tear it, but at the same time, that's probably not going back in there. So yeah, ooh, that is actually like really shiny and stuff. That is more shiny than what I thought. Complete Blu-ray box set, that's just a little paper. It's being held in by the actual disc. That gives you the kind of specifics on the disc. There is some artwork on the back. Let me see if I can free... Yeah, that is just... I don't know. Maybe I'll keep that. I don't know, but let's give a nice little look at the artwork a bit. like I said, the box is like very sturdy. Like it's a sturdy type of plastic. Then you get a completely different artwork on the back. What do we got here? So this was set up like this. It almost looks like some of these are supposed to connect, but they don't really. So yeah, let's see here. What do we got? So we get disc 1, 2, 3 with some artwork that kind of wraps around. So disc 1, 2, and 3 goes from episode 1 to episode 16. So wonder how many episodes this is. Thought it was only like a 25 episode anime, but oh wait, this does have a couple movies too, which is not in English dub for whatever reasons, but the anime itself is in English dub. Yeah, these are actually very, very sturdy Blu-ray cases, which is something I like. And we get disc 4 and 5, which is going. Sorry. We get another wraparound. Don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about this anime. Okay, it's up to 27 episodes, so. But then we got disc 5 and 6. And then these must be the movies. So disc 6 is, I don't know if you'll be able to read that, but Gurren Lagann the movie, Childhood's End. And then disc 7 is the movie The Lights in the Sky Are Stars. They are in a special blue disc, which is very... Oh, and there's also some artwork, like, inside each case, so that's really nice. But yeah, like I said, the movies are not in English dub, so that's a bit disappointing. But overall, it is a very nice box set. I do think I'm gonna keep this, just for now anyways. Not that there's any reason to, but yeah, that looks really nice. One more thing. We have Kill la Kill. So, when it comes to this anime, I've watched about halfway through. I did not end up finishing it. I think mainly just because I got a little bit, kind of like when you watch something and you just keep on watching it from episode to episode, you kind of get burned out, and then you tried to watch too much of it, and then, well, it did not end well. And yeah, so this is wrapped a little bit differently, but still in the same kind of wrapping. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of more premium as far as the actual box, kind of like Gurren. It is actually shiny, but it doesn't reflect as much, being kind of like light colors. You have all the episodes on the back, which is a 25 episode anime. Um, but yeah, currently this is like the only way to get this on Blu-ray. It's the only in print version to be able to get currently. Now, it's possible that somewhere down the line, once this goes out of print, that there'll probably either be another publisher that takes it and maybe releases a cheaper version, or maybe Aniplex just re-releases something. I don't know what's going to happen. You never know what is going to go on with these kind of animes and their publishing rights and stuff. That's a pretty neat little way to house your DVDs or Blu-rays, sorry. Complete Blu-ray box set. And what does this show? Got a little bit of artwork on the side there, and then we got the episode list. Probably each disc, so there's probably 5 discs. You get some promotional work. I do love like little art books and stuff. That is pretty neat. Oh, these are like the, oh, sorry. These are like the Blu-ray and DVD like volume, like the artwork for them. Interesting. I guess back when, because a lot of times anime started out where they would release in volumes of like 3 or 4 episodes per volume or something like that. 'Cause this is like all the way up to volume 7 and volume 8. Okay. Don't know. Like, if there was 9 volumes, there had to only been like 3 episodes on a volume or something like that. And then we get the episode names and some of the scenes, I suppose. Actually, this is like a little, at the bottom here, you're not going to be able to read that, at least not unless I move it like really close. And I'm not kind of in the setup in a way to be able to show you that, but it's a little details about each episode. Just about what the episode is about, pretty much. So you got a little episode guide going into this. What else do we have in here? And then at the very end we got cast and staff. And we got a few more little more artwork bubbles. And then we got the end of the booklet. Alright, so I imagine this is disc 1 and this is disc 2, right? Yeah, disc 1 through 3 and then 4 and 5. Same high quality kind of Blu-ray plastic, and the flap, just like Gurren Lagann, feels very stiff and like it's not gonna fall apart on you. Then we get disc 1. I never actually checked any of the discs, but yeah, they look pretty much new. Awesome. This does not say how many episodes are on what disc, and a little bit disappointed that lack of artwork in the inside spread of the Blu-ray case, but oh wait, the episode guides are on the back. I can barely read them, but they are there. Okay. And we got oh, I did not really notice that. Inside art says Kill la Kill, but on the disc itself it has the Japanese name of it. Or it's written like the Japanese. Which is kind of interesting just because of the font they use. Also, you got the, it's not necessarily Roman numerals, but I think these do stand for like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because it's the same way on, these are the same kind of, they're not Roman numerals, but the Roman numeral equivalent for, I don't really know, but I know in my Bleach box sets, there's these symbols on each set to label it as a number, I would assume. But yeah, that is kind of cool. I think I like this box set a little bit better than Gurren Lagann, but Gurren Lagann also had a bunch of like colorful artwork and such. And we're gonna slip these back in here, and yeah, I'll see you back at Alright guys, welcome back from the table view. Hope you enjoyed that. There was quite a lot of cool stuff here. Happy to have this stuff, and yeah. I could have showed this just face to face, but I thought maybe the table view would give you more, give you a better look at the stuff I bought. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully it's not like another 2-month gap between my videos, because that's ridiculous, and yeah, I know. See you guys later, and hope you have a good night.